Say, Evil, I've been wondering, this Save the Striders thing, how does it work again?
Well, it's really simple. Hermits give me the diamonds, and I go out there and rescue Striders.
Right. Thing is, I've barely ever seen you leave this place.
Oh yeah, well, it's simple really. Sometimes I just hire others to do the work for me.
Okay, well, how many Striders have we actually saved so far?
You do ask a lot of questions, you know that?
Well, I just want to know if it's actually working. I mean, how many Striders have we actually saved?
Well, let's see. It's actually hard to keep track of, you know. Why don't you come and just sit over here for a moment while I do some counting?
Okay, I can sit down for a minute. So, how many is it? Surely it's not that difficult to count up.
Just sit back and relax while I do the math. Don't you worry about it one bit. Don't even think about it. The Striders are doing just fine. Yes, they are. Sometimes they even rescue themselves, right? If they get cold, they know where to go, back into the lava. Yes, relax. All is good, my foolish axolotl. All is very, very good.
There is something I've wanted to show you for quite some time now, and that is actually the Hermitcraft server itself. You see, it might not be obvious at first, but we can see a lot further than usual right now. And this is because I have a combination of mods to improve the performance of the game and the render distance. These mods are called Sodium, and the render distance one is called Bobby. And unfortunately, it creates some stuttering when I fly around. However, if I could get this to work without, it would be marvelous, because if we look over my shoulder, you can see much more of the world, because currently we're playing with render distance 32 on, and this gives you an idea of how close one place is to another. The server's render distance is currently at 20, yet mine here is set to 32. And on the hard drive of my computer is a backup of the Hermitcraft world. And so to fill those extra 12 chunks, it's actually using the ones on my hard drive, meaning that they could be out of date, so when I fly to a new location, it'll get updated. Unfortunately, this is where the lag issue starts to come in. Can you see the herking and jerking and the shakiness? Yeah, this mod combination would be absolutely amazing if that would work. So I had no idea that these things were so close to one another. You've got Gem Space over there, this crazy thing Doc and Ren built, and then you've got the Shulker Box farm all the way over there. This thing looks absolutely bonkers. And there's also the Chunk of Death to the side, and in front of us then you can see the Botum Crew area, and looks like Ren is selling some logs again. And well, this right here, this is a fantastic and remarkable looking build. Wow, that is very creative. I like this very much. I also have absolutely no idea where I'm supposed to go to buy some logs. Wait a minute. Aha, found it. Oh, look at this. Ren is embracing the derp coin. Oh my goodness me. You know what that means, right? We need to embrace the local economy with the derp coin. I had to fly all the way back to the Evil Emporium because I don't actually ever keep any of this stuff on me, but it's so good to see other shops embracing this. And of course, these can be used to buy diamond ore itself, so it might end up being cheaper. I can't actually see how many diamonds it is per stack. Well, anyways, it's fantastic to see Ren at it again with a wonderful build, and I've just noticed these vats actually have the logs inside of them. How cool is that? Now, we are of course still experimenting with this render distance set to 32 and being able to see far more of the server than usual. As I fly back and forth between the log shop and the Evil Emporium, it feels to me like it's getting a little bit smoother. Maybe it's because the chunks it's loading are fresh and not from the world download backup. I don't know. Either way, this is promising. If these stuttering issues, if they could disappear, that would be amazing. For now though, a little status update on a shop of our own. Look at this, the derp coins are definitely selling. And so too is the Save the Strider coin. This little initiative right here has spurred on one buyer. So things are looking good, and speaking of looks, I've got some pillagers over here that we've definitely got to put into the Evil Emporium. They'll be right at home there. Before we get to any of that business though, I've got another one here that I pacified. There's quite a few of them in the area now. So we have business to attend to with our roofs that require some string. We also need an axe and some honeycomb from up here. These copper roofs of ours are ready to go, but you can see some blatant issues. We got snow settling on top of it, and that's what the string is for. Now the axe and the honeycomb, they are for something different. They are for bringing some detail to these big slabs of bland texture that are all the same. We can right click on these blocks to deoxidize them a little bit, and that brings a really nice sense of detail and a mix up of color here. The trick is though that we will also then have to honeycomb these blocks to make them permanently in that state. And there it is, looking much more interesting now, I've got to say. And you might argue that I could use the honeycomb on every single block, which I can, but since these ones here, they don't go to like a further stage, it seems kind of pointless, so we're going to conserve our resources and just use this on the ones we kind of want to freeze in this state. Also, the sound effects here are pretty weird, like quite metallic and then very squishy. By the way, you need to see what going through a dimension is like with these mods enabled. Are you ready for it? Okay, that was very strangely smooth for some reason. Maybe it's only when I go through to the overworld dimension that it goes crazy. Okay, it's gonna go crazy. Oh, it's going crazy. Oh, what's it doing? Oh, okay, that was weird. Logging back in again, and yeah, it definitely gets a bit awkward when you go into the overworld for a moment. Not as bad as when I'm at my base. Anyways, the reason that we are here should be obvious. I have already run out of honeycomb, so we're going to stock up. Also, I found these guys sharing a boat in the Nether. Don't really know what happened there. So, back to the overworld again, but this time at my base, because the lag is horrendous. Yeah, okay, there it goes. Oh, good God! Help me! Oh dear Lord, my frames! Okay, we're back to normal. So there we go, a nice set of detailed roofs with the occasional boo-boo. And you might have noticed this thing over here in the background has been built. So if you didn't watch the last episode, you missed out on us designing this contraption here together, which is all built, ready to go. We're going to fire it up later in the episode because one of the things I need to do is create a storage system for it down here behind the portal. And as always, when making a redstone contraption, I got a load of comments saying, why didn't you use so-and-so's design? Do you know why, peeps? Because it's more fun to make your own design. Anyways, what I want to be doing right now is finally putting these buildings to use. They're going to house some of the stuff we've done with the villagers down below, connect things up in an interesting way. Oh, there is so much to be explained, but I got to start first of all by bringing a couple of villagers up to this building. Because in here we're going to have a crop farm, and decorations are due. We're going to focus on getting things working for now. And so I've created a rail that comes up from down below. This is going to distribute villagers all over the place to these buildings. And we will start with the carrot guy, which might be a little bit tricky. I'm going to put this here and see if he decides to come over to this space. Usually when there's somewhere new to go to, they like wander straight over to it, but this guy doesn't seem to have noticed yet. I am going to take away your workstation. Aha! Yes, go in that direction. Yes, there we go. Excellent, let's take this one up top. Well, I have learned that sometimes you can't place crops on farmland, and it's because of light levels. If I put that there, it lets me plant it. So this guy is now free to roam the area and farm all the carrots, and you've managed to make some dirt tile there. So I've brought another villager up here and got this one into place. Ah, look at that. Perfect. So now that one is going to chuck its carrots at this one, and we're going to collect it with the hoppers below the fence post. And now for house number 2, where you can actually see there's already some activity inside of there. This is going to house a villager breeder with an extension that I've built for it. We've seen this design a couple of times this season. I've moved some villagers over here so that they can breed some babies when we give them some carrots. So the babies drop down below, come around, stand on the wall block there, and only when they grow into adults will they then be picked up by the water above. They get funneled along, they go through some string, there's an observer there to detect that, and that creates a couple of pulses which will then send a minecart out of this dispenser and pick up the villager. So when an adult villager leaves, it's actually going to go across from this building to that one over there. And this is where the connectivity of the buildings starts. So most of these buildings are going to have two connections, like this one will. So that dropper there is going to give carrots to the villagers so that they can breed. And of course, we're going to get those carrots from over on this side. So I'm probably going to rearrange it so that the redstone's over here and it sends the carrots through whenever we get it all the way over to this building. I also want to introduce something special, which is the chain block, kind of acting like a telephone line or a power line between houses, except it's going to send a redstone signal. So when this one needs to tell the other one that we don't need any more carrots, there'll be a redstone condition that sets off a contraption like this, so that a signal can make its way over to the other side and then automatically reset itself so it can receive another signal in the future again. And so that would all be hidden behind the walls, although you can sort of see into the rooms because of this, which makes me think maybe I should put it a bit higher up. Anyway, I've been hearing some moaning and groaning in here. A zombie made its way in. To be fair, you know, if we look around, there are probably, like, up there a couple of spaces where a zombie could have spawned and then made its way into here. So I've gone ahead and replaced the villager and also built our item elevator over here, equipped with a T flip-flop that's powered by the chain that comes into the building so that we can turn this thing on and off. And of course what it does is it sends carrots over to the breeder. So on this side what we need to do is ask for more carrots when we run out and also stop them coming over when we have too many. So there are some carrots in here at the moment. When I take that out, it's going to turn on this redstone torch, and only when power goes into these sand blocks does it then send a signal out on the other side. So if I take these out, it can then send a signal over which tells the item elevator to activate. It's then going to start sending over carrots again, which doesn't make another signal on this side. Also, things like the door get open and closed and the trapdoor here. I need to move things around a little bit. But the concept works and the carrots will keep flowing in. And then when it's full up, it will mean this comparator can activate because it's on subtract mode. And that creates a signal over here, which stops the item elevator again. And then the items start to drain. And they only get activated when fully drained. So this stops any wastage over here. And it causes the two buildings to interact with one another. I must say though, like the chains between the buildings, I thought they were going to be more remarkable. But they're kind of like not even noticeable. And then you're not really going to see them move too often. I do wonder if there's a better visual way of doing this. It might look really cool going from this building over to that one as well, which is something that I have to do. And I think we're definitely going to end up with like a post in the middle to send the signals across, but we're not going to get to that today. And it might also be tricky to do so, as this building doesn't quite align up with that one, which may be a bit of an oversight. And I need it to basically turn off the clock and turn it back on again that feeds the carrots in the dropper to the villagers. By the way, here's a little trick. So, do you see how the trapdoor didn't activate? Right, so if you power it from a different source, you can actually leave it in whatever setting you like. Pretty cool. So when we get this thing running, the villagers that pop out of here and grow up will automatically go across to the next building like this. I'm going to have to carefully spawn-proof this. We'll probably have some glass here so that no mobs can come in. And then the villagers will make their way across to the other side where we're going to have a massive sorting system. And we're going to have none of this. I do not want creepers in here. Okay, this place is definitely in need of being lit up. Yeah, lighting up this building in preparation of what's to come is a good idea. I kind of might be able to keep this sugarcane farm as well, but I think realistically, we're just going to end up building another one somewhere else. And, in harvesting the sugarcane, I forgot that there was going to be a creeper right above my head. Looks like the damage is minimal. So I was going to say I dodged a bullet for a moment there, and it got me thinking about something that I've kind of left neglected. Oh yeah, by the way, that's not looking too impressive at the moment. I need to tidy that up. Yeah, I've kind of left the entrance to where all the villagers are down here completely open, although they are mostly safe, right? These ones are safe. Yeah, we got the trapdoors here, so if any zombies have wandered down, yeah, they couldn't have done any damage. Okay. Okay, that is a relief. Well, this space is all safe and secured now, ready for a massive build. As you can see, there's tons of space in it. We're going to have a lot of redstone and a lot of villager stuff in here. But I think we will take a break for this episode. We've done tons with the villagers today. So we got a moss farm over here that needs turning on. And I'm pretty sure every little bit of this has been correctly put together. However, I haven't tested it. But if it works successfully, the items are going to come out over here and drop down below. And I've actually built the storage system down there. So we're going to pop into this space. And I must remember to make sure that that is open. But I'm using it right now to come down here to show you where the items will go. Because they kind of have to go around awkwardly to then align in this direction with these ender chests, and then they can be picked up by these hoppers but also be moved along the ice here. And so on the other side we have a nice little storage system, the other side of our portal. Wonderful. And I got a bit of space over here where I don't know what I want to put, so if you've got any ideas, maybe something related to this project we could put there, that would be cool. Because on the opposite side I've got this. Now I don't think there's really too much of a way to fancy this up in such a small space, but essentially I can grab a bunch of items from over here like seeds or just whatever I don't particularly need and chuck them in over on this side, and they can then get composted into bone meal. So this thing could kind of function like a bone meal farm too. And as it turns out, I'm actually running low on bones. We do have a skeleton farm, but I've hardly touched it this season. And so this is all the bone meal that we've got. I think I'm just going to use a couple of stacks here to get this farm started. So bone meal goes in the dispenser. Another little check just to make sure everything's alright. That is how we're going to start the farm. So this is our moment of truth right here. Uh-huh. Will it work? Nothing happened. No, wait. It's working! I thought nothing happened for a second there. Wait, something's odd. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to flick it and then put it back down again. That's the trick. Now it's doing something. Now it's running. Yes, look at it go! Sweet, that is so satisfying to like build a contraption from scratch and then see it working here on the Hermitcraft server. Look, all the items are going into the corner. Uh-huh, up they go. Oh, I forgot to put a lid on it. It is always a good time when the thing you forgot to do is very easily fixable and not some fundamental thing that needed to be done right at the very beginning. So now, with a few extra blocks around here. Uh-huh. Yes, I think it's working, although those items went straight across. I'm watching this and I can see what the problem is. If the items come up like those ones did and only hit the first ender chest, then they don't get aligned. If they come up and hit this one, then they are aligned and they can get picked up by the hoppers. Ah, we also get items down here as well, getting pushed into that gap. Really don't know what to do about that one. So yeah, it has a couple of flaws, but because it produces so many items, it's not going to be an issue. Look at this. It's getting filled up pretty quickly. So's this one, and that one too. And remember, we started off with 6 stacks of bone meal. It's kind of still got just about the same amount. So there is only one solution I can think of for this problem that means I don't have to dismantle the whole thing. And it's possibly the glass pane there. If I put a fence post or a wall, it might push the items in a little better for our needs. So switching to the wall block actually makes it fail to put the items in the right position every time. So let's try the fence post next. So looking straight down, it's the blocks that get moved by the face of the piston that end up a little too close, just like that, and then they don't get sucked up by the hoppers. So let's try a trapdoor down there. There we go, we found a solution. That's awesome. This is a great solution. You can really see it working because the items are just pushed in a little bit further than normal, and that gives them more time to align with the ender chests. So now I've seen everything getting picked up by the hoppers, if they can, of course. So there we go. Oh. So when this thing is running, it's not that terrible down here. I can kind of put up with this. Although we do get some falling particle effects. And down here you can see we've collected quite a few items so far. So now what I can do is I can come over here and pull out the ones that I don't really want. Just chuck them into a chest over here, leave them be, and I'll get some bone meal back. So the project is a success, and our very last check is on the bone meal here, and look at that, it is now replenishing itself. So it is now a fully sustainable farm. How cool is that? So while that thing is running all the way over there, off in the distance, I want to show you what's happened over here. We have some new inhabitants at the Evil Emporium. If you want to see some hilarity, mainly me getting these pillagers into this place, which was a complete nightmare, I'll link to the live stream in which I did this down below. So I am not a mob capturing expert, that is more Tango Tech and Impulse's field of expertise. But I do remember there was a way to capture a mob and then put glass panes inside of it, and this would then stop the mob from moving. However, whenever I attempted this, it didn't work. And we tested a bunch of different ways as well, like putting them on top of carpets or a combination of carpets and glass. Of course, they're being deliberately patient with me right now and not moving off. Also, this was another one that I tried as well. This is such a great way to capture a mob and then display it. Just have it inside a couple of glass blocks. I think maybe it just stops them wandering around and, well, there you go. No, it doesn't. Maybe what they need is a target? Aha, now they're moving. But these ones here aren't at the moment. Anyway, we did test and try these, and unfortunately the pillagers just don't stay in this place. Eventually, well, they'll find a way out, and that time it's because they got nudged out. Very interesting. So I think I'll have to consult with Tango, and then maybe he can help us put these into a more desirable location, because the minecart kind of looks a little bit silly, does it not? Also, their names are Doom and Gloom, which is just very fitting. And I guess while I'm here, I can comment on the derp coin sales. They've been really strong. I've actually been replenishing these and selling them, so much so that people are even buying the more expensive derp coins, but not the most expensive ones. So things are looking good for us here on the server. As you may notice, our houses here have had the terrain around them sorted out a little bit and getting prepared to bring the path through and hook them up to the houses and really create a sense of a village here. A village that will actually be occupied with villagers inside of the building. Anyway, this brings us to the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like, and if you wanted to check out that live stream, it'll be linked in the description box down below. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.